listening to Coffee and Conversation with Recovery Advocate Network, the nonprofit organization that strives to address the staggering disparity in resource availability for individuals suffering from mental health disorders, processing disorders, addictions, trauma healing, and sexual identity challenges. Together, we strive to end the stigma associated with these challenges so that true healing can begin. Welcome back to Coffee and Conversations Between the Lines Blog Club series. This is episode number 34, and Joshua will share his experience with journaling, a tool for self-awareness. Between the Lines episodes are written by guests who prefer to use their written voice instead of their interview voice to share their stories. Each author has submitted a blog, and then either Ange, Joshua, who's our resident author, or an actor or actress will read and record it for them. As a reminder, the views expressed in any blog are the views of the author, and the purpose is to provide a safe place for the author's voice to be heard. So, what are we waiting for? Fill up your coffee, sit back, and let's get started.
Journaling, a tool for self-awareness. Self-awareness is not just about knowing who you are. It's about embracing who you are and living a life that is true to your authentic self. It's a journey of self-discovery that leads to a profound sense of freedom and fulfillment. A journey that I am grateful to have embarked upon. For most of my life, I moved through the world like a leaf caught in a gentle breeze, drifting without a clear sense of direction. I knew that there was more to understand about myself, my motivations, and my dreams, but the path to self-awareness seemed shrouded in mist. Then, one day, I entered rehab, and the house manager asked if I'd be interested in journaling. Journaling, he said, would be a way to replace a negative habit, my drinking, with a positive one. So to make a long story short, I picked up a pen and a blank journal that he had given to me, and everything changed. I began with the simple act of recording my daily experiences in rehab. Then once I left, I began to write about my interactions with friends and family, the challenges at work, and the small joys that brighten my days. It was like opening a window into my own life, allowing me to see the world through the lens of my words. As I continued to journal, I realized that my entries were more than just a chronicle of events. They were a mirror reflecting my emotions, both the ones on the surface and those hidden in the shadows. I started to pay closer attention to how I felt in different situations. On days when I was filled with joy, I described the warmth in my chest and the lightness in my step. When I felt sadness or frustration, I allowed the tears to fall onto the pages. My journal became a safe space to explore the full spectrum of my emotions without judgment. As the pages filled, patterns began to emerge. I noticed that certain situations triggered specific emotional responses. For example, I often felt anxious when faced with uncertainty, and I tended to seek perfection in everything I did. These patterns, once hidden in the chaos of daily life, became evident through my journaling. Identifying these patterns was like shining a light on the inner workings of my mind. It was the first step towards understanding why I reacted the way I did and what underlying beliefs were driving my behavior. With this awareness, I could choose to respond differently. Journaling also gave me the space to explore my inner world. I began to ask myself questions that encouraged introspection. What are my core values? What are my dreams and aspirations? What fears hold me back? These questions prompted me to dig deeper into my own psyche. I wrote letters to my past and future selves, offering words of encouragement and forgiveness. I reflected on pivotal moments in my life, examining how they had shaped the person I had become. My journal became a canvas for self-exploration and self-discovery. Over time, I realized that my journal was not just a tool for self-awareness, but also a record of my personal growth. I celebrated the small victories, the moments when I chose to have self-compassion over self-criticism, the instances when I stepped out of my comfort zone, and the times when I aligned my actions with my values. With each journal entry, I saw evidence of my evolving self-awareness. I no longer felt like a leaf adrift in the wind. I was the captain of my own ship, charting a course toward greater self-understanding and authenticity. Journaling became my trusted companion on the path to self-awareness. It was through the simple act of putting pen to paper that I uncovered the layers of my own complexity, understood my motivations, and embarked on a journey of self-discovery that continues to this day. Each journal entry is a step closer to the authentic, self-aware version of myself that I strive to become.
You just listened to episode number 34, Journaling, a Tool for Self-Awareness by Joshua, one of our Between the Lines Blog Club series episodes. We hope you've been both encouraged and learned something new from today's story. Look for additional Between the Lines episodes coming soon. These episodes are written by guests who prefer to use their written voice instead of their interview voice to share their stories. As a reminder, the views expressed in any blog are the author's views, and the purpose is to provide a safe place for the author's voice to be heard. If you want to share your experiences or expertise, we encourage you to be a future guest by emailing us at podcast@recoveryadvocatenetwork.org or submit a blog post by emailing blog@recoveryadvocatenetwork.org. We also encourage you to comment on the episode so that we can continue to provide content that is most beneficial to the community. We are proud that every individual working with RAND does so on a 100% volunteer basis. You can support the mission by clicking the love, not like, icon on our podcast and subscribing. We also hope that you will connect with us at www.recoveryadvocatenetwork.org, where you can donate to the mission, read blog posts, and stay in the loop about upcoming events. Follow us on Facebook and Instagram at Recovery Advocate Network and on Twitter at Rand to Wellness. So listeners, pause what you're doing and subscribe. Follow us, give us a 5-star rating, and provide some feedback. And finally, most importantly, share these episodes with your friends. You never know whose hearts you will touch. Be a part of the reason someone has new hope today. If this episode was triggering to you, we encourage you to contact your support system, therapist, national and community support groups, the Global Crisis Text Line by texting 741-741, and/or, if in the United States, dialing 988 to reach the Suicide and Crisis Lifeline. If you're in the U.S. and need additional resources such as shelter, support group resources, transportation, food, and/or a safe, confidential path out of physical and/or emotional domestic abuse, call 211 or visit www.211info.org for assistance. Once again, we know you're very busy, and we're very grateful you took some time to listen to us today. Until next time, go fill up your coffee, sit back and relax, and we'll see you soon.